Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. Around Kansas, brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. Go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Well, that was fascinating, Frank.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Wasn't
So,
it?
oh, my.
Nuts are us. Maybe that could be the other thing for today. And Hugh Cameron's going to fall into that category, too. Now, had you ever heard of his?
When you talked about it, then I remembered, okay, there was this hermit, a guy known as the Kansas Hermit. So anyway.
Known as the Kansas Hermit, and that's about all I knew. But when we were researching for our Charlie, the documentary project that we've been working on Charles Curtis, one of the searches that I did was on Hib Case. Now, Hib Case was an attorney in Topeka. He went on to be a federal judge in the territory of Hawaii, and it's one of his descendants that founded AOL. So the Case family, very prominent family. And Hugh Cameron was a friend of the Cases, and this is where I started really getting more details. So when Hib Case passed away in Topeka, Hugh Cameron he lived near Lawrence, so he walked everywhere, and he walked to Topeka to see Mrs. Case to express his condolences. Well, he looks like the hermit, the big beard and everything, so he comes to the door, and she lets him in, and he warms by the fire, and so here's this poor lady, her husband has just died, she's planning his funeral, and you got this, friend or not, you got this old guy sitting there by your fire. And she said, do you want to stay? No, I'm okay. Well, he falls asleep by the fire, and she wakes him up and said, just go upstairs and go to bed. So the next day, she goes upstairs, and he's dead. So it ain't bad enough that your husband has just died, you got to plan his funeral. Now you got this dead hermit in the bedroom upstairs. I mean, can you imagine? Really? So then that got me looking for the rest of the story on Hugh Cameron, and it's just another one you cannot make up.
Now you're entering the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, really. Let's take a look. According to the book, Wonderful Old Lawrence, Hugh Cameron came to Lawrence in July 1854. He was a Free State man and decided to come to Kansas where the action was. He is listed as a farmer in Andreas' History of Kansas in 1883. His place was 3 miles north and west of Lawrence on the south side of the Kansas River and was designated as Cameron Bluff. He was born in New York State. He did not go to school but was self-educated, and he must have been a pretty good teacher since he became a professor of mathematics at the Rittenhouse Academy in Washington, D.C. He didn't get to stay there too long as he was fired because he was linked with a close friend who was a radical. From there he came to Kansas. When the Civil War broke out, he enlisted and served 2 years in the 2nd Kansas Cavalry and came out a captain. He then served 4 years in the 2nd Arkansas Cavalry and came out a lieutenant colonel. In later years, he was brevetted Brigadier General of Volunteers for meritorious services. He was called by many General Cameron. The hermit was a walker. All through the years, he walked to Washington to attend every inaugural ceremony. He had important friends in Washington. Webster and Clay were intimate friends. Politically, he was usually on the side of the minority. He printed a journal called The Useful Worker, which was devoted to sobriety, equality, and equity. Cameron at one time lived in a tree near Lawrence. He counted among his friends many Kansas veterans of the Civil War.
Well, another fun day here on Around Kansas. So anyway, we have to go. I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And we'll see you somewhere around Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy Stream. We're the best part of Dorothy Stream.
To see this show and past episodes of Ag AM in Kansas, go online to agamandkansas.com.